Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 10 countries with no income tax in 2024. Zero income tax country might sound appealing to a wealthy person seeking to optimize their tax burden. However, there are several things to be considered when choosing a low-tax country to live in: the general lifestyle of the country, other taxes it imposes on its residents, and the availability of residency or citizenship for foreigners. Few countries across the world don't have an income tax. These countries use other income streams, for example from their natural resources such as oil and gas, or from thriving industries such as tourism to generate revenue. Watch this video till the end to learn more about some of the best countries without income tax, if you're looking to move abroad and benefit from no income tax. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 10 countries with no income tax in 2024. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 10 countries with no income tax in 2024. Number 10. Vanuatu. Like many other island nations, Vanuatu relies on tourism revenue to fund its government. It's also one of the few countries with no taxes where you can get a second passport quickly, easily, and, relatively, cheaply. After a devastating cyclone ripped through Vanuatu in 2015, its government reintroduced its citizenship through an investment program to help raise funds to rebuild the damage. Today, Vanuatu's citizenship by investment program is one of the easiest to navigate in the world. The country has even begun to accept Bitcoin as an investment currency. It also costs significantly less than similar programs in the Caribbean, and its passport has become considerably stronger over the past few years. The only drawback to Vanuatu is getting there. Although I found a handful of inexpensive flights from hubs like Kuala Lumpur, traveling there is time-consuming and costly. However, since Vanuatu is one of the easiest countries with no taxes for citizenship by investment, going there may be worth the trouble. Number 9. United Arab Emirates. According to the Index of Economic Freedom, the United Arab Emirates is the 24th freest economy in the world, and first in the Middle East/North Africa region, thanks to its openness to trade and low taxes. Like most of its neighbors, the UAE earns plenty of money from oil exports, so residents can live there tax-free. It's also one of the easier Gulf countries to live and invest in. The government of the UAE openly encourages foreign investment, and cities like Dubai are well known for their entrepreneurial spirit. The UAE is also highly livable by most standards, especially in terms of safety and development. While it is a fairly conservative country, the UAE is multicultural and more tolerant than some of its neighbors. Becoming a resident of the UAE is also easier than in other Gulf countries. While a permanent residence program for foreign investors does not exist, its visa policies are becoming easier to navigate. The government has even recently started to issue 10-year residence visas. Most lawyers and long-term expats I've spoken to agree that if you maintain your investments, stay out of trouble, and deal with some bureaucracy, you can live in the country for decades. As an international hub for trade and finance, the UAE is one of the more appealing countries with no income tax on this list. Number 8. St. Kitts and Nevis. If you're looking for a place where you can easily establish tax-free citizenship, look no further than St. Kitts and Nevis. The price tag of its citizenship by investment is also far lower than other citizenship by investment programs. There are two investment options to get the passport: a donation of $150,000 to the Sustainable Growth Fund or an investment in a government-approved real estate project for at least $400,000. While you can read more about the citizenship by investment program in St. Kitts and Nevis here, it's a relatively easy process that can take less than a year to complete. Number 7. Qatar. At first glance, Qatar appears remarkably similar to its neighbors in the Persian Gulf. It's a small, wealthy country that earned its fortune through the oil industry. Its culture is highly conservative yet rapidly modernizing thanks to foreign investment and influence. And, of course, its oil and gas revenue allows the government to stay afloat without levying an income tax. Despite these similarities, Qatar is a fascinating country due to its particularly high level of development and role in world politics. It may be small, but Qatar has one of the highest per capita income rates in the world and is regarded as being the most developed country in the Middle East. The country also hosted the Soccer World Cup in 2022. It also plays a unique role in global and regional politics. Overall, Qatar is a relatively peaceful and pleasant place to live, and unlike its Gulf neighbors, offers permanent residence for expats. That being said, like most countries with no income tax, it's still difficult for foreigners to attain permanent residence since requirements are strict and few lawyers specialize in the area. To even be eligible, you must have lived in the country for over 20 years and have a good command of Arabic. Number 6. Nauru. Nauru is a small island country in the southwest Pacific Ocean that was first named Pleasant Island by European sailors. Unfortunately, however, the island doesn't seem to quite live up to its nickname. Most people only know of Nauru for making headlines as the location of a controversial Australian-run detention camp for asylum seekers. Although Nauru certainly has many of the charming features that draw visitors to other Pacific islands, the island's phosphate mining industry has decimated its economy. It may even be sinking into the Pacific Ocean, too, thanks to rising sea levels. Nauru is among the world's countries with no taxes because of the government's last-ditch efforts to keep its economy afloat. If you're looking for a peaceful tax haven in the South Pacific, Nauru might not be your best bet. Number 5. Monaco. Monaco's status as one of the world's best countries with no taxes has made it a playground for the European elite. This gorgeous country on the French Riviera is safe and luxurious, yet it charges its residents and citizens a total of zero income tax. Plus, since the country tends to attract high-income, tax-averse types, it will likely remain among countries with no income tax for the foreseeable future. It's also one of the easier tax-free countries to become a citizen in. Although you'll need to spend several $1 million to prove your wealth to become a resident, the residency process itself is fairly straightforward since it's a popular destination for wealthy expats. For those of you who prefer European glamour to island life, then living tax-free in Monaco may be the right choice. Number 4. Cayman Islands. Like the Bahamas, Cayman Islands' scenic beaches draw in enough tourists to keep its government afloat without the need for income tax. However, if you want to live there long-term, be prepared to invest a considerable amount of money. You'll need to make $145,000 per year and invest at least $2 million in real estate or local companies if you want to live on Grand Cayman, and from there, you'll need to wait another 8 years for permanent residence. And, as in most Caribbean countries, the more money that you invest, the more easily you can obtain permanent residence. However, you can get away with investing a bit less if you choose to move to one of the less popular islands, like Cayman Brac. The Cayman Islands can therefore be an interesting zero-tax option if you have the money to invest in becoming a permanent resident. Number 3. Bermuda. The British territory in the North Atlantic Ocean is known for its pink sand beaches, and for its zero income tax. It does have a payroll tax though. The main difference is that payroll tax is required by employers only, who may deduct 9.5% from employees' salary that goes to said tax. And if you're self-employed, you are required to pay the payroll taxes yourself. Bermuda has a population of just 62,000 residents and doesn't have any residence or citizenship by investment programs. If you want to visit the friendly island, you can stay for 3 to 6 months with a short-term permit visa. You can also live there on a work permit that's usually issued for 1 to 5 years, sometimes longer. Number 2. Bahrain. Bahrain was one of the first states in the Persian Gulf to discover oil on its lands. This oil discovery has allowed it to become one of the wealthiest nations in the world, and one of the handful of countries with no income tax. It's also fairly easy to live there. While I'm not particularly enamored with Manama, the city is well developed, and there's a sizable expat community here. However, the problem with Bahrain, and many other Gulf states, is that getting permanent residence can be difficult. To establish permanent residence in Bahrain, you need to be retired, invest $530,000 in property, or earn a basic salary of not less than $10,600. While getting permanent residence in Bahrain is possible, citizenship is another story. You need to live in the country for 25 consecutive years and be fluent in Arabic. Bahrain, then, could be an option if you're looking for a tax-free permanent residence in the Gulf but don't count on getting a second passport there. Number 1. The Bahamas. As one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, it's no wonder why the Bahamas doesn't need to charge income tax to make ends meet. Plus, with its stunning beaches and fast-growing economy, the Bahamas is one of the most livable countries with no income tax. Establishing a second residence there is not too difficult, either, as long as you have the money. Getting a temporary residence permit is as simple as paying $1,000 at the immigration office, and it's renewable every year. Recently, however, the Bahamas has started cracking down on foreign residents who use the temporary permit without making investments. If you want to stay there long-term, you'll need to buy at least $750,000 in property to get on track for permanent residence. As a general rule, the more money that you invest in the Bahamas, more likely you'll be treated favorably by the immigration office. While getting permanent residence is mostly a matter of investment, citizenship is another story. The country has flirted with an expensive citizenship by investment program, but nothing has come of it yet. You won't pay much in taxes to the Bahamas, but you'll need to spend a substantial amount of money to live there. In the long run, though, it could be worth it to pay no taxes while lounging by the beach. So, which are your favorite countries among the top 10 countries with no income tax in 2024? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button to receive more content like this. In the comments below, post your favorite places among the top 10 countries with no income tax in 2024. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure others would too.